everybody, I'm Olivia for Signal by Sony. So today we are here with Mark and we are taking a look at the brand new Sony RX. This is a new version of the RX1.
We want to show you today a extension of our RX series line. So this is the new DSC RX1R, and the R is for resolution.
Okay.
So one of the trends that's just come up over the last couple of years in high-performance, high-end cameras has been the idea of removing the optical low-pass filter, which is in the front of almost all digital cameras. And the reason for this, digital cameras use an optical low-pass filter to avoid moire or color falsing. So what the optical low-pass filter does is it induces a slight amount of blur at the pixel level to avoid the diffraction effects that you can sometimes get when shooting complex patterns in, like say, a very tight woven fabric.
Now Mark, other high-end camera companies have taken out the optical low-pass filter in the past. So what makes the Sony different in that respect?
Well, you're right, Olivia. But the real secret of what we've done is in the processing. We anticipate, of course, the type of sensor that we're using, its noise characteristics, its pixel size as well. And also when in the processing in the JPEG engine, for instance, we use our adaptive noise reduction. On top of that, of course, both of these cameras will shoot RAW, so obviously users can take the RAW file and process it in the way that they want.
Both of these sport a 24 megapixel spec. So does that mean that we're going to get the same resolution out of these?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. It's actually a little bit different. The actual measured resolution of an RX1R will be a little bit greater than in the RX1 simply because we don't have the optical low-pass filter in the way.
Does that mean that the RX1R is an upgrade?
Not at all.
Okay.
The RX1 and the RX1R are partners. They will continue to coexist. Taking off the optical low-pass filter to extract a little bit more resolution from the sensor is not without some demerits. There are cases in which the optical low-pass filter is actually a good thing. That's why almost all digital cameras use them. However, for those photographers who are shooting highly detailed scenes where there's lots and lots of detail, particularly landscape or images of fabrics, for instance, textiles, things like that, where there's lots and lots of detail in the scene, extracting the maximum amount of resolution from the sensor is often a great advantage. So it's really a use case difference. It's a photographer difference.
Got it. So that's a really important feature to know, the difference between, because you don't want to run into a case where you're expecting something and sort of getting something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Now in terms of video, what frame rates do these cameras support?
You've got your choice of 60 interlaced, 60 progressive, and also for a cinematic look, 24p.
Now there are hot shoes on both of these cameras. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
This is the multi-interface shoe that we introduced in the fall of last year. It uses a standard ISO design, so you can put a whole variety of different accessories on this. Also, we have an electronic eye-level viewfinder as well. We have an OLED finder that can attach here so that you can use the camera not only framing on the LCD, but you can also hold it up for eye-level shooting as well.
Tell us about some of the photo presets.
Well, any camera like this that would appeal to an enthusiast photographer has to be able to offer extensive manual control. Even in a camera that's typically maybe half the size of a full-frame SLR, we still have room for dual control dials. We have one on the back here and then one up under your thumb. We have a dedicated control right here for exposure compensation. And then obviously the standard program, aperture, shutter speed, manual controls are there, but we also make room on the mode dial for 3 user declarable presets.
And you can jump there really quickly if you know that that's something you're going to utilize
Exactly.
often.
As well as in the video mode, you have full program aperture priority, shutter priority, and manual control as well.
Nice.
And that's one of the great advantages of a camera like this. You can do that in movie and you can maintain autofocus.
While recording.
Yeah, so it's a great advantage.
It's nice and user-friendly. What is our recording media for this? Maybe SD card?
Yeah, we use a single slot in the bottom of the camera, which is both SD and memory stick capable. And then for external ports, we have not only a mini HDMI, we have a micro USB, we have an input for an external microphone. In both the RX1 and the RX1R, we use our X battery, which is not only a very compact battery, but also gives extended shooting. We can get up to 220 shots of battery life with this camera, which is very important for a photographer who would use this, because often this is seen as a very high performance travel camera because it's much smaller than any other full frame digital SLR.
What about price point and availability?
Yeah, the camera is going to become available. I would say we're going to see it in stores probably towards the end of July.
Okay.
And it's going to be priced similarly to the RX1. It'll be $27.99.
All right.
So both cameras are the same price.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks.
Great speaking with you. Now, if you guys want to learn more about everything Sony, you can check out youtube.com/signal, and we'll see you next time.